Tonight, a Knoxville-based construction company suddenly closed. At least two potential homeowners tell 10 News they're out tens of thousands of dollars. Ethics Construction has built homes in the Knoxville area for more than a decade, and that includes homes in the high-end Bridgemore neighborhood in Farragut. Federal tax documents filed in Knox and Blount counties show the company has owed hundreds of thousands in back taxes. 10 News reporter Sean Franklin talked to one woman who says she doesn't know what will happen to her dream home or her $95,000 down payment.
Our final home before we retire.
Sandy Lane says her dream home is now on hold.
Someplace big enough where we could have the kids and the grandkids.
She had everything picked out, the floor plan, the doors, the windows, and put $95,000 down. She says she contracted with Ethics Construction in April. She says everything changed this past weekend.
The mailman came to my door with a certified letter from Ethics Construction signed by Mike Doolin, the chief manager and owner of Ethics, that they were no longer doing business in East Tennessee.
She says she received little explanation and her calls went unanswered.
What happened and where is our money?
Multiple liens filed in Knox and Blount counties against Ethics Construction show tens of thousands of dollars in unpaid taxes. At the closed Ethics Construction office, a neighboring company pointed us to an attorney. When we reached out to that attorney, he said he had no comment. At the Better Business Bureau, CEO Tony Binkley opened an investigation into Ethics Construction Tuesday morning.
We've updated our website that we're actually doing an investigation on it now.
Binkley says this is a surprising situation because Ethics Construction was well known in the home building industry in Knoxville.
It's rare, and the people in this industry, we've talked to some other people in this industry, and they're shocked in this situation.
A feeling shared by Sandy Lane.
Maybe he thought he could make it work, but to know where you're headed and to still take people's money is so wrong, and it's just unethical.
Sean Franklin on that story. Ethics Construction was a franchise of the nationally known Arthur Rutenberg Homes. Lane says that company is working with her to figure out her next steps, and she says she's also talking to a lawyer about her options moving forward.